What's up YouTube? I am Breakup Brad, and this is another advice video for anyone who's thinking about getting back together with their ex. Now this time I'm going to cover a brand new topic that I really haven't discussed much in any of my past videos. I'll be covering 6 critical things that you need to teach your ex. In other words, 6 lessons that your ex needs to learn if you're going to get them back. Now I know what you're thinking, what the hell am I going to teach to my ex that's going to lead us to getting back together? And yes, I know this does sound a bit weird, but remember that we're actually always teaching other people things throughout the course of our daily life already. Like for example, maybe you've probably taught your friends and family not to call you before 9 a.m. on the weekends because you ignore their early morning calls, or you joke about them waking you up. Or maybe you've taught your coworkers that you're not going to participate in any office drama or rumors just through your behavior or your social cues. Whatever the situation, we really are all educating other people around us in life frequently, and it usually goes unnoticed, and it all happens on more of a subconscious level. So with that in mind, it's not that strange to think that you might need to sort of teach your ex some things in order for them to want you back. And like with the examples that I just talked about, these 6 things that you want to educate your ex on are going to be subtle, and they're going to happen under the radar. Now guys, be sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because all 6 of these things that I'm going to talk about are hugely important to your chances of starting over with your ex and your chances of having a long-term future together. And you really do need to get the timing right on this in order for these things to be effective. So watch all the way to the end and you will learn everything you need to know. Now let's start with lesson number 1 that you should be teaching your ex. And number 1 is that you are awesome, you're a great catch that all the other singles are chasing after. Yes, that is right. You need to show to your ex that you are an amazing catch that literally anyone of the opposite sex would be lucky to go on a date with. See, in most relationships, things start off on a high note. When you first started dating, your ex couldn't wait to see you again or hear your voice. They felt a rush of excitement just thinking about you. And in their eyes, at that time, you were amazing. You were the person that they fantasized about and wanted to spend every waking moment with. But of course, over time, those feelings fade. And then, your ex, they kind of had time to start seeing your flaws and your imperfections. And maybe the relationship ended with a lot of arguing and drama that even further damaged your ex's perception of you. So now it's time to teach your ex that they were wrong to focus on those flaws and faults. And it's time to teach them to let go of the negative memories and feelings that they were really focused on during the final days of your relationship. You need to change how they feel about you and your potential future together. Now, the best way to do this is to simply live your life to the fullest in the first few weeks and months after breaking up. So do the opposite of what your ex had come to expect from you. Break out of your comfort zone, crank up your social life to the max. Make new friends, reconnect with old friends, pick up hobbies, and achieve your goals in life. Because really, your ex expects the opposite from you. In fact, they probably expect you to continue to be the same flawed person that they broke up with. But by making positive changes to your life, working harder than ever to achieve your goals, and just living a fun, interesting social life, your ex is going to wonder whether they had actually misjudged you. And they're going to start to worry that maybe you were still that person that they first fell in love with back in the early days of your time together. Now, if you can, it's also extremely helpful to teach your ex that you are a hot commodity just by going on a few dates with some new people. Now, even if it's just for fun, jump on Tinder, jump on a few dating sites, and just go on a couple dates. Even hanging out with friends of the opposite sex can be enough to teach your ex that there's plenty of people out there who would love to be with you and love to take your ex's place. Generally, try to always remind yourself, you are an amazing person and a great catch. But your ex has lost sight of that over time. So now it's time to reteach them how awesome you really are and how foolish they would be to let you walk away. Now, the next lesson you want to teach your ex is actually closely related, and that is number 2, you're not waiting around for them. So a sense of urgency is critical if you really want to change your ex's mind about breaking up and force them to come crawling back to you. You simply cannot let your ex think that you'll always be waiting around for them, eager to get back together if they just simply say the word. Now, honestly, guys, this is one of the single most common mistakes that I see my clients make. And really, it feels like you should be willing to wait for your ex to change their mind, right? Like if they need 4 more months to decide that they want you back, fine. You'd probably be happy to wait and play along if it does seem like it'll increase the odds of getting back together in the long run. But this is absolutely the wrong way to think about things. Really, your ex must not believe that you'll be a backup plan in case they change their mind. If they think that you're always going to be there, eager to agree the second they suggest getting back together, well, you've already given up control of the situation to your ex, and you've further damaged their perception of you. So your ex must learn that you're going to quickly move on with life unless they make an abrupt U-turn on their decision to break up. Really, they can't feel like you'll probably still be single and still willing to take them back, a few months down the road. They need to feel like you're quickly slipping away from them and you won't be single for long. Now, teaching this lesson to your ex is actually pretty easy. First, you need to apply a period of no contact as soon as possible. Just watch some of my other videos on no contact to learn more. I'll put a link to some of the best ones in the description below. And make sure that you cut yourself out of your ex's life as much as possible and as quickly as possible after breaking up. Secondly, do what I talked about earlier. Go on dates with new people, hang out with new friends, join a club, pick up a hobby, just even take on new responsibilities or projects at work and school. Really occupy your time with productive, interesting, or enjoyable things. The more, the merrier, just don't leave yourself any time during your day to think about your ex. Instead, just get out there and live life. Be social. Trust me, if you do this properly, your ex is going to notice and they're going to learn the lesson. They're going to feel a sense of urgency and feel a loss of control over the situation that they didn't expect when they initially decided to break up. Now, if you're in a confusing or unique situation that makes it difficult to do this, or if you just really don't know how to properly teach this lesson to your ex, consider signing up for a month of one-on-one coaching, and I'll learn about your situation and work out a plan with you together. It's way more affordable than you think, I promise, and you can sign up for coaching right now at breakupbrad.com/coaching. Now, on to lesson number 3 you need to teach your ex, and that is that their rational reasons for the breakup weren't really a huge issue after all. So usually when someone decides to end a relationship, they've got specific reasons that they believe justify that decision. They thought things over and they came up with issues or problems that they felt were bad enough that the only solution was to end things and move on. But obviously you need to re-educate them. Your ex needs to learn that those rational reasons that led to their decision to break up were wrong, or at the very least they weren't as bad or as insurmountable as they had previously thought. Now, this one can be a little difficult to put into practice, but there are some situations where you can easily show your ex that their fears or their concerns were actually overblown. So, for example, maybe you were guilty of becoming a bit too needy, a bit too jealous during the last few weeks or months of your time together. Maybe your ex felt smothered by your constant pestering, your insecurity, or maybe they just, couldn't handle your constant jealousy. Well, in that kind of situation, you can apply no contact immediately after breaking up and show clearly to your ex that you aren't actually clingy or overly jealous. You could even say to your ex, you know what, breaking up has actually been a big eye-opener for me, and it's really helped me get my life out of a rut and back on track. Hope you're doing well too. And you just say something like that to kind of get the point across. Now, not all of your ex's rational reasons for breaking up are going to be, within your control. You can't suddenly move your job across the country to wherever your ex is living if that was the main reason for the breakup. But you could potentially even hint to your ex that you've been applying to new positions in different cities around the country, suggesting or hinting at, there might be a chance that you'll someday live closer to one another. But regardless of the exact reasons that your ex has in their mind for the breakup, you need to teach them as much as possible that those reasons really weren't as problematic or as insurmountable as they had thought. You want to kind of just give them some hope that some or all of the reasons can actually be worked out, or show them that things could in fact be different if they were to give your relationship a second chance. And now let's move on to number 4. Their life is way, way worse without you in it. So this one's simple. You need to make your ex feel heartache and loneliness. Really, you want them to miss you as much as possible. Because if your ex feels a strong sense of loss after breaking up, if they notice that their life becomes, noticeably worse with you not around anymore, well, the more emotions are going to drive them to miss you and to second guess their decision to break up. So the only truly effective way to teach this lesson to your ex is really to apply no contact as soon as possible. You need to give your ex basically a cold turkey breakup experience to ensure that they experience the full consequences of their decision. You can't make your ex miss you if you continue to be part of their daily life, which is why, of course, that no contact is so important. It ensures that they have no time to slowly learn to live life without you, and it forces them to suddenly experience a major change to their life, and that's going to focus their attention on all of the positive things that you brought to their life that they probably didn't appreciate before the breakup. No contact, it works, okay? And it's really the only way to truly make a breakup as painful as possible for your ex. Teach them how much worse their life is without you in it, and they're going to want you back to fill that void. And again, no contact is the key to teaching this lesson to your ex. Now, number 5 is you've learned from your mistakes. Now, this one's not going to be relevant for everyone, but it is an important lesson that you need to teach to your ex if the relationship ended because of something you did to hurt your ex. So if you cheated on them, lied to them, smothered them and tried to control their life, or even if you just generally treated them poorly. These things are obvious mistakes on your part, and your ex won't want you back if they think you're going to do the exact same things again if you were to get back together. So your ex needs to understand that you've recognized your mistakes and that you've come to regret them. They need to know that, if things work out and they give the relationship another chance, you won't make the same mistakes again. Things are going to be different this time around. Now, if you haven't apologized in a sincere way to your ex for something really bad that you did or said, that's the best way to start. Make it a single, heartfelt, and really genuine apology that shows your regret and your understanding of what you did wrong. So, for example, you could send them a text saying, "Listen, I don't want to bring up old drama or anything, but I want to apologize for what I did to you. Going behind your back and lying about it was totally wrong, and I've come to realize that now. I'm really sorry for the hurt it caused you, and I'm definitely going to learn from it." Now, if it wasn't a single mistake that you made, but rather, an ongoing trend or pattern of behavior, such as being overly jealous or controlling with your ex, or even just, smothering them, being too clingy all the time, then you don't want to apologize in those situations, but instead you want to exhibit the complete opposite type of behavior from this point on. So if you were too insecure and needy, and you constantly nagged at your ex during your relationship, then it's time to do the exact opposite. Just give them tons of space. Don't ask them what they're doing. Don't ask them who they're with or what their plans are. Just act like you no longer care what they're doing and that you don't have any need to contact them, nag them, or pester them. And by showing them through your actions that you've changed the behaviors that drove them to break up, you're really clearly indicating that you've learned from the past and that you have an ability to change and avoid making these same mistakes in the future should you end up back together. Now, just a quick disclaimer here before we move on to number 6. Apologizing to your ex after the breakup can actually be potentially hazardous or even prone to backfire if you handle it incorrectly. So please sign up for my one-on-one coaching to get my ongoing help if you really aren't sure how or when to apologize to sort of make amends with your ex. Just go to breakupbrad.com/coaching for all the information and to get started today so that I can work with you and help you maximize your chances. All right, and lastly, guys, number 6, they need to learn that they still want you sexually. Now, this is another lesson that your ex really needs to learn in order for them to decide on their own to take you back. They need to be reminded of your sexual chemistry. They need to want you and to be physically attracted to you. Really, you want them to understand that being with you means great sex and a close sexual connection. So teaching this lesson to your ex is, honestly, it's pretty simple. First, just try to make sure you look your best anytime that you're going to see your ex in person. For example, show off those 5 pounds you've lost since the breakup, without obviously actually saying it, but maybe post a photo of the new slimmer you, or just mention to your ex in passing that you've been hitting all your fitness goals recently. Second, consider using my intimate memory text message, when the time is right, of course. Now, this text, which you can learn all about in my X Factor program at breakupbrad.com, really involves subtly hinting at a steamy, intimate moment that you shared with your ex in the past. And just by bringing that memory into your ex's mind, it's going to remind them of the amazing sexual connection that you used to have. Now, be careful not to be overly explicit or direct when you do this kind of thing and you bring up past sex life or sexual innuendos. But if you do this carefully and correctly, it's really going to help your ex remember how good your sex life was and what they're missing out on now. And lastly, you really want to use any in-person encounters with your ex after the breakup to flirt like crazy and really build sexual tension. So be sure to get close to your ex when you're together, make physical contact, and playfully tease them or drop a very subtle sexual innuendo during the course of your conversation. Basically, just use your charm to be seductive and crank up your flirting to sort of force your ex to feel attracted to you sexually again. And once that they learn that they still want you physically, really your ex will have yet another reason to reconsider breaking up. All right, that's 6 lessons that you need to teach your ex in order for them to want you back. Now, if you have any questions or feedback, you guys know what to do. Just put it in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to visit breakupbrad.com for my free full-length Get Your Ex Back tutorial video. Thanks so much for watching this one all the way to the end, guys, and best of luck out there. I'll see you soon.